Hello my friends, thanks for stopping by. I hope you're all having a great day. Today I'm going to do my most reached for products in 2018. I have decided to break it up into categories. And today I'm going to start out with foundations, powders, primers, concealers, and setting spray. I first wanted to touch on my hair. I tried a new product. Actually, I saw Lisa talking about a hair by Conair, a hair blow dryer curler in one, styler in one, or something like that. And I couldn't find that one because they were out of it. So I happened to stop at Target and I saw this one. And it is the Revlon Salon One-Step Hair Dryer and Volumizer. I just wanted you to know that that's how I did my hair today. This is not my preferred look. I know many are going to say to me, oh, I love your hair straight. It is not my preferred look. I like my hair to have some bounce and volume to it. Okay, so we're going to start with primers, and the first set of primers are more to address staying power of the foundation and my pores. And I do have an under eye one and an eye primer. But for my primer, these days I have been using the Hydra Blur Primer by Dermalogica. I really do like this. I use it only in my T-zone area. It really does address my pores. The next one is by Too Faced, and I like it in the spray form, and I also like it in the cream form. My spray form I actually took to Florida and forgot it. So I'm going to show you the cream form that I'm using, and it is the Too Faced Hangover Rx. This is really nice. I like it for the added moisture it brings to my skin, but it also does help my makeup last longer. It doesn't really address the pores, so if you're someone who really is into a primer for its pore benefits, you want to try either the Dermalogica, or there are several to try, but I'm just showing you my favorites. I have Dr. Jart's Pore, Pore. It works really well. But this is about the ones I reached for the most in 2018. And for a drugstore version, I like the Revlon Photoready. Now this is the pink one, not the white one. I like the pink one. It really does address pores. So if your budget is more for drugstore, this is one that is worth trying. Okay, and it doesn't, none of these interfere with the application of makeup, whether I'm using a mineral foundation, if I'm using a dewy foundation. I don't really do a lot of long wear matte foundations, but none of these primers interfere. So the next set of primers we're going to roll into are my highlighting primers. Now these I do not use to address my pores at all. These are to give me, an aging woman with very dry skin, these are to just address the glow, that glow from within that I am always seeking, always. I'm always searching for the product that is going to give me a fabulous glow under my foundation without making me look greasy. Because even though I'm dry, I don't want to look oily either. Nobody does. So you've heard me talk about both of these over and over and over again. And the first one, and it's fairly, I found this later in the year, it's the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. I have it in 3 and 4. 3, I will give you a swipe of this. 3 is just a little bit brighter in color, and 4 is going to have just a tint more beige to it. I'm trying to get enough on there so you can really see it. But you can see the difference. This is definitely brighter, and this is more of a neutral skin tone versus this one. I love them both. It does not matter, either one. And she has several shades, lighter and darker. But I absolutely love the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood. I don't know how I lived without it. It really gives you a beautiful glow without any glitter. My drugstore pick that I absolutely love, and I've gone through tubes of it, and I also have colors for the summer of this, but the one that I keep going back to is the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion, and this is in number 903. This is a fabulous highlighter, especially for an aging skin, because it has no glitter, and it just gives you a very subtle glow. And this one is perfect for my skin, just perfect. But really, it gives you a beautiful glow without adding any glitter to your skin. So those are my 3. that I reach for over and over and over again. So now we're going to move into my eye area. I have been using a primer underneath my eyes for years. At one point, a couple years ago, I was using by Glow Minerals. It came in a silver tube. I liked it well enough, but I always go back to the Smashbox Photoready, and all I do, it's a hydrating primer, because when we age, or as we age, and our skin changes underneath the eyes, it's very important before we pack anything onto our skin that we have it in good condition before we even put our concealer or foundations on. Because if we don't, every flaw we have is going to show. So I have found that by using a primer underneath my eyes as well, now some are going to say, well, why can't I just use the primer underneath my eyes? You could. This one you could go right up underneath your eyes with the Too Faced, but the ones that are to address the pores, I don't bring them up underneath my eyes because I don't have a pore problem underneath. So I would highly suggest the Smashbox Photoready Hydrating Under Eye Primer. It does help. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I do have a lot of veining underneath my eyes. I have veining on the side of my eyes. So my concealer and my primer play a very big role in my application of makeup. In order for my eyeshadows to really show true to color, I have to camouflage out all the blue veins. I have greenish blue veins on my eyelids. So I have been using for years, and I will continue to use this until something else perhaps comes along. Now remember, I do not have a problem with oily eyelids. So anybody who has a problem with oily eyelids, you know, you may need to go a different route for your primers. You may want to try the Shadow Insurance that is very popular. But I like the Stay Don't Stray, and this is the light medium by Benefit. It just really addresses all the problems that I need taken care of. It has a subtle peach tone to it, but as you can see, it really camouflages out the veins even in my hand. So that's important for me. And then I just allow my primers, all of them, to just really have a good 30 seconds of setup time, because you want them to dry down and you want them to play well with everything else you're putting on your face. So that takes care of my primers, my most reached for primers. So now I'm going to move into concealer, and I have 3 concealers that I use. One I have to make work for me, but on those those events that you want to really have your skin just flawless and you want everything concealed and camouflaged, that's when you need to really pull out the big guns. Now this primer that I'm going to recommend, if you are incredibly dry like me, but you have more wrinkles underneath your eyes, this may not be the one for you. This is a very thick, heavy concealer, but I have learned how to play with it. I am not one of those that can just go like this and do the V and fill it in. I can't even dot this one on. I have to take the smallest amount of this, and this is Tarte Shape Tape that I'm talking about. I have to take the smallest dot of it, and I have to really work it into my hands, and then I can place it around my eyes. And before I set it, I have to really make sure that it is really massaged into my eye area, or it's not laying in all the lines, because however you set this, that's what's going to show up. So you want to make sure that you're really working that concealer in the smallest amounts, and you're really just pressing it into the skin. And the next one that I use, and this one I actually have on today, and this is the DermaBlend Professional Smooth Liquid Camo Concealer. I really like this, but again, I do not just take the doe foot and sweep it on my face. I actually touch this on my hand and warm it up in my fingers and then press it into my skin. But I do like it, and it is what I'm wearing. And I'll show you the powder that I use to set over this, because that's another thing with these concealers, learning what powders will work with them. And usually you want to really gravitate towards a finely milled powder when you're setting underneath the eyes. And you will see what I'm using, because I'm going to move right into those right now. So let's go into powders. And I have 3 powders. I actually have more powders that I use and I love, but I wanted to narrow it down. My most reached for powder of all is the LaPraire, and this is just an unbelievable powder. I actually have it on my face today and I absolutely love it. It's very expensive, but it is such a phenomenal powder, and you get a ton of it. I mean, I've only purchased in the last couple of years maybe 2 of these, but you get a beautiful travel size that is really a nice size. It's probably the size of most drugstore powders, and it's well worth the money for me. But underneath my eyes, and you can also use this all over your face, and it's much more affordable, is the RMS Beauty, and this is the tinted unpowder, and I get the number 2, 3 because I don't like to use a white cast powder underneath my eyes to brighten it up. If I'm going to brighten underneath my eyes, I'm going to do it with my concealer, not my powder, because I just don't like the look of a white powder underneath my eyes. So this one here, it is untinted, but it does have a little bit of color. But when you really, that's what it looks like on my finger. And when you put it on your skin, it really doesn't show up at all, but it doesn't leave that white cast. And this is so finely milled, it is perfect for underneath the eyes. And I've gone through probably 2 or 3 of these little containers. Love it. Absolutely love it. Now, I also love, which I left in Florida, I love the Lemare powder. It is incredible. It has such a beautiful, subtle satin finish to it. You just glow so perfectly when you're using the Lemare powder. Now, I do have the old version of the Lemare powder, but I didn't show it because nobody can get it. But I recently found, and I've already talked about this in a video, and this is a dupe for the Lemare powder, and it is by Flower, and this is the Miracle Glow Satin Finishing Powder. And I'm just going to open this up, and I'm going to put a little bit of this powder on my hand so you can see the beautiful glow you do get with this. And it's without any glitter, which is beautiful, and that's just with the powder puff, but it is a beautiful, beautiful powder, and you just get a very subtle glow. So if you're somebody who has always wanted to try the Lemare but it's out of your budget, this Flower powder is beautiful. All right, so now we are going to move into my most reached for foundations or tinted moisturizers. My number one that I reach for all the time, and I have it on today, is my Osmosis Cc Cream. This at first I did not like. I had to find out which application worked for me the best, and it turns out that my fingers are the best tool to apply this CC cream. Now, you may have a different experience with it. You may want to use a sponge with it. You may want to use a brush, but I absolutely love this with my fingers, and I first apply it on and then I pat it into my skin, and this is the look I get. Now, this has a very sheer coverage, but it can be built up, not to maximum, but it can be built up to give you enough coverage if you have minor flaws on your skin to be covered. This is fabulous. I have it in 2 colors, and they do have more colors. When I ordered it, I first ordered the warm, and it was okay, but just a tint too dark for me. So then I ordered the neutral to blend in, and that's how I've been using it. But they do have colors that you can select that may be perfect for your skin. So Osmosis Cc Cream, for me, better than any CC cream I have ever used. Now, if I want to just go for a very lightweight look, I'm not really, this actually gives you a very lightweight look. You could use this for an everyday, just running out the door, even if you're somebody that goes to the gym. Now, if I went to the gym, because when I exercise at home, I don't wear a stick of makeup, but I know there's women that are uncomfortable with being seen without anything on their face. Obviously, I'm not, I come on YouTube that way, but you can use this and just give it a light dusting, and it's almost like you have nothing on your skin, okay? But I also, from time to time, will reach for my Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, and the color that I'm using in this is Sand, and I have used this for years, probably since it came out, and it's not my I don't reach for this over the Osmosis. The Osmosis I reach for more, but sometimes I do, especially in Florida, I'll reach for this one a lot. I don't know why, but I do. So the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, it comes in 2 formulas. The moisturizer comes in an oil-free. I get the broad spectrum SPF 20. It's a lightweight, flawless coverage. It does come in an oil-free version, but I never go for oil-free because I'm dry as a bone, and you all know it. All right, so now let's get into my actual foundations that I love, and I really limited myself to 4 because I had 2 drugstore that I really like and 2 higher end that I really liked. So I thought, well, they both of these give the same look, but one is a high-end version, one is a drugstore version. Okay, so we're going to start with my higher end. I've been using this for years and years and years, and if you are an aging woman with dry skin, especially if you have a lot of fine lines around your eyes, your mouth. I have very strong lines above my lips. I don't have a whole lot of lines around this part of my eye, but I am showing a lot of age in my under eye area. And of course, my forehead has a couple of road maps in it. But anyway, my most favorite foundation that I have worn year after year after year, and this does not mean that I don't like some of the other ones that I've shared with you, because I do use all of those, but I wanted to really narrow it down, and that would be the Armani Luminous Silk. This is just a beautiful, beautiful foundation. You can sheer it out, you can build it up. It is beautiful. It gives you a beautiful glow. It wears well for me. And the color that I'm wearing in this is number 6. I will say that for Armani, I feel that it's really hard to select the perfect shade. So if you're doing it online and you're order a couple of different colors that look like they might work for you. And then when the bottle comes, you'll be able to really tell because you can see through the bottle. Love, love, love the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and I will probably always have a bottle of it. Okay, the next one is going back to the Osmosis line. Now the Osmosis is a performance wear satin foundation, so again, it's going to give you a really beautiful glow, and the coverage can be sheer or built up. Really, really, really beautiful. And what color do I have here? I wear golden medium, and it is the Osmosis performance wear satin finish. I'm going to just put some on my hand here, and I'll blend it down so you can see. This is a little warm for me, this foundation. A little bit too warm, but I make it work. But it just gives you a beautiful, beautiful finish, a nice glow to your skin, and it wears well with powder. And that's another thing that's important for me, because I need my foundations to work well with powders, because I'm always applying a powder blush. I'm not really a cream girl. I'm trying to find cream products that I can, use and maybe bring tutorials, because so many people love them. But for me, I need my foundations to work well with powders, because I use powder blush, powder bronzers, and so on. Okay, so now my drugstore picks, and they're both by L'Oreal, and I've been wearing them for a long time. One I absolutely adore, and that is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This is as good as any high-end foundation that gives you a beautiful glow. Really love it. And the color I wear in this one is 208. I've gone through tubes and tubes and tubes of this. And you can, again, you can sheer this out, or you can give yourself a medium coverage. If you want a little more coverage and you still want that glow, then it would be the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. And in this one, I wear W4 Warm. It's considered natural beige. And I will just pump it out and let you see what the color of this one is. It gives beautiful coverage. It really, really is a beautiful glowing foundation. So those are my 2 drugstore picks for foundations. When it comes to setting sprays, I stay away from any setting spray that has a ton of alcohol in it. Like the all-nighters and stuff like that, I don't use any of them. My purpose for using a setting spray is just to take that look of powder off my face. I don't really have a real problem with makeup lasting on me, but these do help. This one here is by Algenist, and it's Splash. It's their Hydrating Setting Mist, so it is considered a setting mist. And the mister on it is very, very nice. That's important to me, because a lot of these misters that you'll use, they'll spit on you. I don't want blobs of setting spray on my face, because if it runs, then it's going to leave a little mark. So the mister is important. So test those sprays out in the store before you buy them. And the second one that I absolutely love and I will buy again is by Too Faced, and it's their spray version of their Hangover RX 3-in-1. Absolutely love it. So there you have it. That is my most reached for foundations, powders, etc. In the comments, let me know what your most reached for foundation, powders, concealers, primers, whether they're glow or pore perfecting. Let us know, because remember, I'm a dry skin girl. If you're oily, you're helping out someone in the comments when you share your good finds. Right now I have, the next video is going to be like eye palettes and mascaras and liners, and then I have another one, lips, blush, and bronzers. To see my most reached for hair products, my most reached for mask, my most reached for skincare, beauty tools, let me know in the comments, because I'll be glad to put those videos together for you also. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, subscribe. We are living life here. Go out in the world and be happy, healthy, beautiful, and most of all, my friends, lovable. I love you all. Bisous.